Hey there everyone, this is Adam from Scum by himself. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, and I'm here to announce something that's been going on for the past couple of weeks. Scum is officially now available on BitChute as well as YouTube. Right now we're just uploading older videos, but at the same time, the descriptions actually go a little bit into the insight on how those episodes were created. We're currently on episode 2 of Sigmata, which I think most of you have seen. It is kind of our most popular series. And just because I'm the type of person that wants to make sure you get a little bit of content today, allow me to regale to you a story, courtesy of this new announcement, about the time that, well, I became that guy. For a little bit of context, this was the first time I played a proper pen and paper RPG. This was the first time I did this. Before then, I mostly did play by posts, mostly Vampire the Masquerade with a dash of some homebrewed nonsense for Resident Evil. And to top it off, the game that we were playing was a full on evil group. This was an evil campaign. As for the cast of relevant characters, because there were players in there that didn't have a lot of impact on this particular moment. There was myself, who was playing a hobgoblin cleric dedicated to Despater. His goal was to become a disciple of Despater. And there was the new guy. He just came into the group and he was playing the, I don't remember what class. He was playing, in terms of character, one of the lesser sons of the Elven King who, because of his lesser status, had great ambitions to effectively say, fuck you, dad, and take over. And this was the session that he was supposed to be introduced in. So, how did I become a that guy to this poor bastard, you may ask? Well, let's just say that for some dumb reason, I became massively obsessed with role playing the traditional racial hatreds between hobgoblins and elves. No, no, don't worry. I did not PvP the man. I'm not that much of a douchebag. Although that probably would have been more interesting. No, instead, there was a scene where we entered the Elven Kingdom where this new guy's character came from. And it was just standard DM fluff of, as you're entering the village, they're starting to throw flowers and they're cheering you. And I decide for some reason that these elves are mocking me, because that is unfortunately the type of character I made my Hobgoblin Cleric. He was supposed to actually be a serious character, but didn't go so well. I've referenced Varuna a few times. The best way to describe the type of character he is I'll show you a clip from Blockhead.
One, two, three. 3 eggs to match the crime. How do you like crime now, Turtle? How do you like making crimes? Why is the window broken?
There you go. Now you got a little bit of an idea on what type of character Varuna the Horrible Paladin was. Well, my cleric was its prototype. Varuna claimed a lot of inspiration from this poor bastard, because at the time, and I still think even now, I can't really quite pull off evil. There's just something about that I just can't quite master. I think it's just I don't have that desire to just kind of inflict pointless destruction. It's just not quite in me. So, yeah, I'm playing a character that's basically insane, and I decide to start assuming these elves are insulting me. So for the next hour and a half, I'm just spamming rolls as the poor new guy is just trying to get his character in so we can do proper quests. I'm doing like sense motive checks. I'm trying to use knowledge. At one point I tried to use fucking flower language. I tried to use goddamn flower languages to determine what the elves were saying just from the random flower petals they were throwing at us. By about the time the new guy, and actually the DM by this point, was starting to get a little pissed, and I don't blame him, was starting to get a little bit annoyed with me, I eventually narrowed it down to The elves were insulting me because they knew I was going to die, since I believe they were cherry blossoms, which have a lot of meanings, and I think one of them is the ephemerality of life or some nonsense. So, yeah, I monofocused on that, and that session was pretty ruined, and I wouldn't be shocked if that's why the campaign died pretty quickly after that. And unfortunately, I do have to apologize to the guy. I'm sorry about what the heck I did. I was a I was either a stupid young man or a stupid team, because it was at the ass end of my teenage years that this happened in. Still no fucking excuse. I'm really sorry, man. That was an interesting little game. Our mission was just to try to do something for Shar, the evil goddess of the moon, but it didn't really go anywhere. I don't think we could arrange the time. There were some interesting characters in that group too. Besides my half mad cleric who, in lore, bought a wagon from an orc that was filled with the bones of children. Because yeah, of course, haha, hoo hoo ha he. There was actually one of my old buddies that I haven't seen in a while. He had a character that was pretty. It was the worst optimized character ever, but it's also one of the best ideas ever, which was a gargoyle ninja who freaking dual wielded maces. He was like a level 2 ninja or something when everyone else was level 6, so he wasn't very well optimized. One of the problems with playing level aligned races, ones with racial hit die, I should say. We also had a pretty standard, I believe it was a human sorcerer with draconic template, or he might have been. No, I don't think he was that. There's besides Dragonborn, there's this other type of scale blade, spell scale. I don't think he was that. It's like a fairly obscure half dragon, half human race that's not Dragonborn. That comes from 4th edition. I think he was just a human with with a draconic template. And then there was the poor bastard who I think we had one more session with him. Uh, I actually still have a little bit of the art, although I don't think I should show that one. Just out of remembrance. Oh man, it's been a while since I've thought of this. So anyway, that's the story of how I utterly derailed a session using the Art of Flower language. And again, we are now on BitChute, so feel free to have a look. We'll provide a link down there, and we'll also have a referral link onto the channel itself. This is Adam. I hope you had a wonderful afternoon, and remember, don't be a that guy.